Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a nutritional consultant and culinary nutrition expert.
Hi, I'm Gareth and I'm the other half of Some Good Living. I'm a writer, meditator and proponent of simple, healthy living.
And today we're going to talk about positive self-talk. I think this is one of the most important things we should be including in our lifestyle, or one of the most important things. And I do it on a regular basis, and you do too, hey?
Yeah, and in fact I also do a lot of negative self-talk on a regular basis like most of us, and try to combat that by, talking to myself in a positive way, which is really the crux of what we're trying to talk about. So Jess, what do we mean when we say what is positive self-talk?
So positive self-talk is when we're affirming, giving ourselves positive affirmations. We are building our confidence. We are talking to ourselves in a very positive way with positive words, so we can feel motivated, confident to take on different things throughout our day, overcome challenges, and just live a healthy way with a positive mindset.
Yeah, and it might sound a bit strange at first, self-talk, what are we talking about? We're not just going around talking out loud to ourselves, but I do see a lot of people doing that, but then I realize they have a Bluetooth in their ear and I'm like, okay, they're good. But what we actually mean is that we're always talking to ourselves all the time. We're constantly having thoughts. Your brain, as I've talked about in some of my meditation stuff you might have seen, it never stops thinking. The brain's main primary function is to think. Just like your heart, its primary function is to beat. Your lungs, its primary function is to breathe. Your brain's primary function is to think. You're thinking all the time. And in a way, we have kind of a dual personality. We all sort of do, where we kind of have the outward self that we're going out with into the world. But we also have this voice in our head, right? Like this constant voice that's often chastising us. It's often telling us off. It's often criticizing and saying, oh, you fool, you idiot. You've done a really bad job at that. And this is something that's really, once you tune into this, and it can be a really powerful thing, you might not even realize how much is happening. But the end of the day, the simplest way that I like to think about it is, think about how you would talk to other people. Most of us are decent people, and there's certain ways we wouldn't talk to another human being, right? We wouldn't tell them they're idiots. We wouldn't say, you're doing that wrong, you're useless. But if you really tune into what you're saying to yourself in your head, if you're down that path of negative self-talk, you might find that you're talking to yourself in a way that you would never talk to anybody else. But I think the counterance of that is a really, really important and really powerful thing.
And I think I just want to touch base on how it's so easy to get in a negative thought pattern. We often judge ourselves or compare ourselves to other people. There's so many influences out there that may, get us in that negative thought pattern. And we're always trying to, compare ourselves to others, or we're being very judgmental of the way we look or how we do a certain thing. And I think focusing on reverse engineering that and focusing on positive thoughts, just going the opposite way, that can really retrain our thought patterns on how we can look at things with a positive outlook and just get in that positive mindset. So we're going to talk about some of the benefits of having that positive self-talk, and what our number one benefit is from that. So what would you say is a positive or a benefit from positive self-talk?
Well, it goes very deep, but if I put it at its most simple, it's that, like Jess said, it's very easy to get on this train of negativity, and especially these days when you've got all these influences with social media and whatnot, it's very easy to look over the garden fence and see that the Joneses are doing it better, have more successful, or going to more places. And I think in this environment that we live in today, where everybody's kind of sharing their highlight reel, it's really, really easy to get dragged down that path. So that's one thing about it. I think you've always got to sort of bring yourself back to the present moment, where you are. You're doing a great job. You're awesome. You're rocking you. There's always going to be somebody else doing it better, or at least putting out there that they're doing great. That's fine. Like, be inspired. You know, be happy for them. I think that's really important, first of all. But in terms of the benefit, nobody benefits from having a negative set of thought patterns. You know, it takes you down a road that can be dark. What you end up doing is you negatively impact your self-esteem. If your own self-talk is like, oh, you're not good enough, you're not fit enough, you're not smart enough, you're not working hard enough, then that has a negative impact. You'll go and then develop bad habits that, you know, only compound and exacerbate those things that you're criticizing yourself for, which probably are not nearly that bad in the first place. The benefit, the flip side of positive self-talk is that you big yourself up, right? Like, you give yourself credit. You say, I'm awesome, I'm doing a great job, well done, Gareth. You finished that blog post. Probably don't say that often enough, yes, Jess, but you finished that blog post, you know, like, you did your workout this morning. Good man, good job. You're doing real good. And it sounds simple and maybe even silly to some people if they haven't really kind of sat down to think about this, but you will be amazed over time how just having this positive dialogue in your own mind will actually have really positive effects on your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and ultimately your sort of productivity and
how you approach others as well. Like, if you're in a positive mindset, you are going to converse with the people around you in a more positive way because you're thinking positive thoughts. So you're not going to that negative thought pattern, and that you're just sharing the positive greatness, energy. Exactly. So it's you just get in that mindset of practicing kindness, gratitude, and it just, you know, it's just an amazing thing to start your day and practice daily to create those healthy habits.
How do we do it? If I'm sat at home, like the viewers might be sat at home today going, okay, well, what does that mean? I've never, like, you know, I can't, like, my thoughts are my thoughts. First of all, like, how do we recognize when a negative thought is happening, and then what can we do to set ourselves on a train of positivity?
So for me, sometimes I'll find myself in a negative thought pattern. I'll be getting frustrated with a blog post because I'm not as quick as Gareth at writing them, or I'm trying to figure out how to do something with our website or sending an email, and I'll get very frustrated and overwhelmed. And what I do, I just usually like take a moment, sit back and shake it off. I'm like, what am I doing here? And just take a breather. Then I will think about, you know, some positive thoughts. I'll say, okay, Jessica, it's okay. You can take a step back, revisit. You know, you can find help in order to overcome these challenges. Solutions, like keep going
Instead of
forward.
Problems, look
for solutions. And I always look at too, like how far I've come in life with certain things that I've done. I look for positive feedback that I may have received from people that will help boost my confidence to overcome challenges. I'll literally just sit here. I can remember I went to do a presentation at my local high school, and I was so nervous, and I'm not really sure why, because I knew myself. I was trained, and I guess just going back to my old high school and teaching the students there. But on my way there, I just kept saying over and over driving there, I was like, I am confident, I am knowledgeable. I am confident, I am knowledgeable. And it just put me in that mindset and reinforcing what I already know to do a great job for those students. So just, you know, saying positive words, and I didn't say them out loud, it was just something in my mind that I said. You can definitely say positive affirmations out loud as well.
Sometimes it may not always be a convenient time to be talking to yourself out loud.
Exactly, but just getting yourself in that positive state. It also helps reduce any anxiety that you may be feeling as well, any restlessness, nervousness. It just gives that calm feeling. So yeah, I think that's one of my favorite ways to really get in the positive zone.
Yeah,
So,
I think
yeah.
two just to pick up on two really key things that you said there that I think one was really important. I just want to make sure we didn't miss that point. Looking back at your achievements is so important.
Yeah.
These days, like looking ahead, don't get me wrong, we shouldn't dwell on the past. I don't think that's a healthy thing, like certainly negative things in the past. But we're all very productive these days with all the technology and everything, but it's very easy to get in this mindset of, oh, I'm not doing enough. But if you stop sometimes and just go, okay, what did I actually achieve this week and this month, this year, this last 10 years, and pat yourself on the back, celebrate your successes, and also look back at what you've accomplished. I think that's a really important point. First of all, it's going to help your self-confidence, just your mindset in general. But then the other thing is affirmations. Actually saying positive things to yourself out loud is very powerful if you can do it. If you're, like you're not in the library probably, and you can talk out loud to yourself, do it, because saying something out loud, writing it down is another one. Yeah. Write down positive things, keep a journal, write in a positive way. Very powerful ways to just get your mind into a positive sort of mindset. But affirmations, if you're not used to it, it may seem a bit weird at first, but literally just as simple as, I'm doing a great job, I'm a productive person, I'm doing my best, these really simple phrases, just to repeat it to yourself in the shower, in the mornings, just get yourself in the right mindset. You'll be surprised how powerful that can be.
So effective.
Yeah, it really will alter the way that you're thinking. So if you're feeling the doldrums, you're feeling a bit down on yourself, just start recognizing those things and saying those things to yourself, and let us know. Tell us in the comments. Like, did you see an effect? We want to hear about it.
Yeah, and we're gonna share our top benefit that we've personally experienced from positive self-talk. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I think number one for me, it is that I have very high expectations of myself. So it's very easy if you're sort of very ambitious and you're just highly sort of productive and driven, and you're kind of rah like the way that we are. It's so easy just to feel like it's never enough. I think just to come back to that point. So for me, the greatest benefit of self-talk is recognizing that I'm doing things, that I'm producing things. That's really important to me. Is that I put things out into the world, and hopefully it kind of influences others in a positive way. So when I get in that mindset of, oh, I didn't do that blog post this week, I've been too busy, I'm a terrible person, like to just flip that and say, no, look at all this stuff that you've put out into the world. This week is just this week. It's been crazy. Let it go, man. Meditate. That's another thing, kind of all feeds into it. Calm down, but say to yourself, first of all, I'm achieving things. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. It's always about recognizing the things that I've achieved, and to me that flicks a switch, and it makes me feel a lot better about myself.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's it, I think, really. What about yourself?
So mine would be building my confidence and stepping out of my comfort zone. If I never had those positive thought patterns, I don't think I would have pushed myself to do certain things that I have done. And it really kind of amped me up in a positive mental state to go achieve those things, or ask the questions, or push myself to go do something that I wouldn't normally do, because I've always would have gave myself that negative self-talk and saying why I shouldn't do it.
You taught yourself out of things.
Yeah,
right?
talk yourself out.
It's very easy to do that, I think.
Yeah, and then so with positive self-talk, you build yourself up, you give yourself encouragement and confidence to go achieve those goals. And I think that was probably my number one thing from positive self-talk. Although there's so many things on a daily basis I find benefits from, but it's probably the biggest one I've found. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this chat about positive self-talk and you were able to take something away. We hope you have a great day and include some positive self-talk in your day, and just know that you are awesome.
Keep calm and talk nice to yourself.